So you're going to take your highlighter. It says examine the triangle and determine the largest angle and the largest side, the longest side. So let's look in number 1. Give me the letter of the angle you think is the largest angle.
C.
You think that this is the widest angle?
Oh, the widest.
Largest would be widest. Same thing. So angle A. What is the longest side? 2 letters. CB, which is my hypotenuse. Where do you only find hypotenuses?
In a right triangle.
In a right triangle.
Right triangle.
So if it's not a right triangle,
It's not a hypotenuse.
it's not a hypotenuse. Number 2, which angle looks like the largest angle, aka the widest angle? X. What is the longest side? Yeah, Z, Y, Y, Z, so okay. Number 3, what is the largest angle? I would say M. What is the longest side? NP. So please look and make an observation. Where is the largest side in comparison to the largest angle? Across. So guess what happens when you have the smallest angle and the smallest side? They will also be across. And the medium angle will be across from the medium side. That is half this lesson. Jamari. Take that. All right, so we're going to talk about it in this section. You're not going to draw this. I'm just going to show you. If you had an obtuse triangle, just to show you again, which is the largest angle? Give me a location.
Left. No, bottom right.
Bottom right. What's the longest side?
Left.
Ta-da! The smallest will pop up without me doing anything. Smallest angle across from the smallest side. All right? That will always happen. There is a theorem based on this. We're just going to kind of go over. It is in the middle of your page. If one side of a triangle is longer than the other side of the triangle, then the angle opposite the longer side is larger than the angle opposite the shorter side. So go ahead and fill in that blank. So you're looking at this. Which is the larger side, AB or BC? BC is the larger side. How do I know it's the larger side? Because it's longest and its length is 5. So what will the larger angle be? A. So the measure of angle A will be greater than the measure of a different angle. So we're actually going to compare the other side and angle. The other side we're given is 3. What angle corresponds with that side? C. So that means the measure of angle A will actually be greater than the measure of angle C. Because the side across from A is larger than the side across from C. The opposite is true as well. If you see, if one angle of a triangle is larger than another angle, then the side opposite the larger angle is longer than the side opposite the smaller angle. So of these two, I know that there's a third angle, and it would be 80, but we're going to ignore it. Of these two, which is the larger angle? 60, so angle D. So what side will be the longer side? FE. So FE will be greater than the side across from 40. What side is across from 40? DF. So it'll be larger than DF. And it'll pop up. That's the whole theorem. We flip.
Cool.
You are constructing a stage prop that shows a large triangular mountain. The bottom edge of the mountain is about 32 feet long. So where should you put 32? On the bottom? The left slope is about 24 feet long and the right slope is about 26 feet long. List the angles of triangle JKL from smallest to largest. So here's where people don't read. So what are we listing in the end? Angles from the smaller to the larger. So make sure we do that. This is what you're really looking at. What is my smallest side? JK. So that will be across from my smallest angle. What will my smallest angle be? Angle L. So angle L is my smallest. What is my next largest side? 26, which will be across from what angle? J. So angle J. Which leaves the last side, which is 32, and it is across from what angle? K. So this would be the entire answer. Use the sides to list the angles. Do we have a question on that? Okay. So then we're going to do the opposite. In the next one, we're going to use the angles to list the sides. Here's my only issue. How many angles are there in a triangle? 3. How many are listed? 2. Are you equipped enough to find a third angle in a triangle? Yes. What do? Add them and subtract from 180. 51 and 47, which make 98. 180 minus 98 is 82. Close though. 82. So we are listing from the shortest to the longest. What is the smallest angle? 47. So what is the smallest side? DF. So you're going to list DF. Remember that you name a side with 2 letters and a line above. What is the next largest side, or next largest angle? Would be D. So that makes the next largest side FE, or EF. All right, now our largest angle is F, so 82, which would make the largest side DE. Oops, sorry. I didn't mean to hit that. All right, so the inequality theorem. All you do is you add the smaller sides, and they need to be greater than the larger sides. Is 4 greater than 5? So you add 2 plus 2 is 4. Is 4 greater than 5? No. Add 3 plus 2. What's 3 plus 2? Is 5 greater than 5? No. Add 4 plus 2, which is 6 greater than 5? Yes, so this triangle exists, whereas these do not. So when we go to this section, we're just going to speed through this part. Because this one tells you to actually try all combinations. But what I tell you is to add the smaller sides. Add the smaller. Add the smaller sides, and they need to be greater than the largest side. Because this is really the only combination that matters. What is the largest side in number 9? 17. So we would add 3 plus 12. What is 3 plus 12? 15. Is 15 greater than 17? So this would be a no, not possible. Number 10, what's the largest side? 21. So we would add 5 and 16, which is 21 greater than 21? No, so this would be a no. The next one, what's the largest side? 8. So we will add 5 and 7. What's 5 plus 7? Is 12 greater than 8? So this one would be a yes. It is possible.
I'm getting confused.
Why are you adding the last 2?
Man, that's what I'm saying. I thought
You're adding the smaller numbers.
Oh.
It doesn't matter the order. You're adding the smaller sides, and they need to be greater than the largest side. So what is the largest side in number 10? Or 12, sorry, 12. It is 11. So that means we would add the smaller ones, 10 plus 3, and they need to be greater than 11. What's 10 plus 3? It's 13, greater than 11.
Yes.
So this would be a yes. That's it. That's it. We're going to flip. This is the last section. Inequalities in 2 triangles. You will be fine. All we're doing is talking about inequalities in 2 different triangles. This is called the hinge theorem. Where do we get hinges? Doors. So here's what happens. You're going to be comparing. So your answers are going to say less than, greater than, or equal to. Those are the 3 types of answers in this entire lesson. So what you're going to be doing, if you have 2 sides, congruent to 2 sides, you can compare the third side based on the angle it is across from. So what this one's asking for is for you to compare RT, compare it to VX. What angle is RT across from? VS, which is how many degrees? 100. So RT is across from 100. What is VX across from? 80. So RT is going to be greater than VX. It's going to be a bigger side because it's across from a larger angle. That is all you're doing here. Okay, so your fill in the blank is longer and VX. You can do the same thing with sides to angles. You have, in this picture, we're trying to compare the measure of angle A. What is angle A across from? BC. What is D across from? EF. So you're going to compare the sides so that we can compare the angles. In the sides, BC is 8 and EF is 7. So which of the angles is going to be bigger? Angle A, because it's across from the larger side. So your fill in the blank will be larger, and the letter D, because angle A will be larger than the measure of angle D. Because angle A is across from 8, angle D is across from 7. So all we're doing today is writing less than or greater than. So let's do it. If you don't remember, less than or greater than are right there. Given that ST is congruent to PR, we're going to compare the measure, so you're going to write this as a part of your answer. The measure of angle P, ooh, that's ugly. Angle PST. We're going to compare it to angle SPR. So a lot of you would struggle with this because you don't know how to read angles. It says PST. What is the vertex of that angle? S. So it's comparing this angle. The next one says SPR. So what's the vertex of that? P. So you're going to compare them. S, or PST, is across from 24 inches, whereas SPR is across from 23 inches. So is 24 less than or greater than 23? Greater than. So angle PST will be larger because it's across from the larger side. So this is your final answer. Questions on why it was greater than? Okay, next. We're going to compare JM and LM. JM is across from what angle? 64. LM is across from 61. So compare them. Which one will be larger? JM, because it's across from 64. So JM will be greater than LM, because JM is across from the larger angle. A wider angle will make a longer side. Last section, we're comparing BC to EF. In number 1, BC is across from what angle measure? 35. And then the second, it is across from? 45. So is BC going to be greater than or less than? Less than, because it's across from the smaller angle. Number 2, you can kind of look at it and know the answer. Yeah, because BC is across from 95, ES is across from 20. So BC will be greater than. It also looks greater than. Last one, Noah's going to help me out with. Yep. Why is it equal to?
Because they're both 90 degrees.
But this one has a box. What does the box mean? 90 degrees. Good. So because they're both across from 90 degrees, they are equal.